What is going on, everybody, and welcome to a brand new video on my channel. And I want to apologize for not uploading since our sniping filter video, which wasn't too long ago, only about 48 hours ago. But, you know, I do want to upload every day, if not twice a day. It was just, you gotta understand, I was just so busy. Like, there was no chance for me to upload a video. Like, there was a good, 36 hours where I didn't have the time to log into the companion app. I was that busy because I had to drive all the way down to Nashville, play a game against Vanderbilt University, drive all the way back, had stuff to do, went to Cincinnati, came back to Kentucky, recorded a how-to video for my class, did some essays, went to class, took a nap because, you know, I'm on 3 hours of sleep throughout all of this, and then I'm here now. So I've got a lot to catch up on in terms of trading, YouTube, streaming, but I apologize, but I'm back. I'm back. That's the important part. And I should be back for the next, at least until this Sunday when we have another away game and my sleep schedule goes out the window again. But nonetheless, during the time that I've been, you know, not able to get on FIFA, our investments have gone up, so that's a good thing. We don't have too many investments, but we do have these Lucas cards. We do have these 9 Golans, especially 9 Golan for 101k, 9 Golan for 97,000 coins, and those have skyrocketed in price in the last 48 hours as well. So let's go and take a look at them. We got them for 100k, and they're obviously not that cheap anymore. They're not 110k. They're not 120k. But they are 130,000 coins. Normally, they're actually a little cheap or expensive than that. 127,000 coins might be an outlier. Normally, they're up at around 135k is what I'm trying to say. And that's what I could sell them for overnight is 135, maybe 140, which after tax is still about like 30,000 coin profit per card, which makes it like 60,000 coins off 2 9 Golan investments, which is dope. Lucas I picked up because he crashed a ton after Player of the Month, and I was able to sell a couple of them for 8k in the last episode, if you guys saw that. But right now he's about 6,000 coins maybe. Yeah, about 6.4 thousand, maybe a little bit more expensive than that, but we got them all for about 5.4k or even less, all the way down to about 2.9 thousand coins, which is a great deal. And then the Yarmolenko, guys, the Yarmolenko, he's going for, his inform is, we got it for about 15,000 coins. Right now he's going for about 21,000. I imagine there's a couple cheaper than that, about 19k, but there would be no issue with me trying to sell that overnight for 21,000 coins. So I would sell 100% of the time. So let's go ahead and consider selling during this episode. I'm not 100% sure if I want to do that yet, because this 9 Golan is still going to be out of packs for 7 more days. And we got a couple more days till Weekend League comes, and I imagine some more people are going to be putting this 9 Golan in their squad. But for the Lucas card, I'm going to go ahead and take my profit, guys. I know there's another Player of the Month coming up in less than 2 weeks, about a week and a half from now, but we do know that Lucas isn't going to win that Player of the Month again. It's probably going to be Eden Hazard, so we got to start looking maybe towards Player of the Month investments for Hazard, whether it be informs, Chelsea players who he scored against this month, or Eden Hazard himself, which honestly is a very likely requirement. So we're definitely going to look at that Eden Hazard card and see what his price is, and maybe pick up one of them, because we know if he wins Player of the Month, that card is going to be unreal. And if it's unreal, we know it's got to be expensive. So I'm going to probably maybe pick up a golden Eden Hazard card by the end of this episode. But let's go ahead and list up one of our Lucas cards for 6,300. Let's go ahead and list up our Yarmolenko card here that we got for 15k. We're going to list it up for about 21,000, maybe 250 coins less. And whenever they sell, I'll list up the next Lucas card. And I'm going to hold on to my 9 Golan cards. But something we got to talk about in this video for sure, because it got released earlier today. Wasn't able to get online or anything for it to pick up cards. But we got new league SBCs, and they dropped on a Monday. So are we expecting them to drop on Mondays from now on? Probably. They might just be random, though. I'm not sure what EA are going to do about it. We've got Superliga Argentina de Futbol, which is the Argentinian league, I'm guessing. And then we've got the second division out of England with the EFL Championship. And here's the thing, guys. It says repeatable, and I'm not 100% sure what that means yet. So I'm going to ask my chat about that. It says repeatable, but I imagine it's only repeatable if you complete every single one. So it's not like you can continually do Aston Villa, and then do Aston Villa, and then do Aston Villa again. You'll have to complete all of the requirements to all of the different teams in terms of doing it again. And I'm pretty sure that's how it works. And my chat's telling me you can only do it twice. So that's kind of the deal there. So nothing too different from last year, other than the fact that you get a player pick, which I think is a great idea, and you also get to do it twice. So everything else, though, is the same about that. So we're going to get into some League SBC trading, especially with silver cards, position change. That's always a good thing for these. That's always a good thing for the League SBCs. So definitely going to be getting into a little bit of that, guys. So if you guys are enjoying this series, make sure to drop a like on the video. I'd greatly appreciate it. You guys have smashed 1,000 likes in the last couple of videos. So we're not going to shoot for 1,000 because I know that's a lot to ask for. Let's shoot for 700 likes on this video, guys. 700 would be awesome. And also subscribe to the channel if you're new. Let's go ahead and get into some of the trade. We sold something already. Oh, yeah. All right. We already sold one of the Lucas cards. Easy 1.5k profit. Our first pickup of the day is going to be Thomas Meunier's Inform. Team of the Week 2 is something that really a lot of people haven't looked at yet. Meunier really liked this card. Not because he's like crazy good or anything, but like he is well-rounded. He's got all stats 78 and above. Almost a part of the Hullet Club. Almost. But I got one for 53k here, and he's not really selling at 58, but he is selling around like 56, 57. And that's right now. I imagine once we get one closer to Weekend League, maybe he'll rise a little bit higher, especially when he goes out of packs and the supply is gone. 2, however, he's the only other Belgian inform than Hazard. And if Hazard's going to win Player of the Month, which he is very likely to win Player of the Month, Meunier's just going to rise into the hype. And I'm not really worried about anything but the price of him the day before Player of the Month. I don't need him to be required for the SBC, but I know for a fact that if Hazard, even is nominated for the Player of the Month, which he will be this Friday, Meunier is definitely going to rise into the Player of the Month Hazard hype. So we'll keep an eye on the one for 55k. And there's a couple other informs that we were looking at that I think are pretty solid. Ben Yedder, I really like this card. Somebody mentioned in my chat that this card is really good because there's only a few strikers from La Liga that you can really go for as a choice, and Ben Yedder's in the top 5 in terms of those guys. So you got Messi, and you've got Suarez, and you've got Griezmann. Obviously you don't got Ronaldo anymore, and then you've got like Rodrigo, but you also have Ben Yedder's the only inform. And if you guys remember back Cambu from last year, he rose a ton from Team of the Week 1. This is the same rating of card as Bakambu, and he's probably better. This Ben Yedder is probably better than the Bakambu. So for 62k, that's not too bad. I mean, he's got 5-star, 4-star with 88 pace, 87 dribbling, 83 shooting, 79 passing. He's a very solid card that people are gonna want in their team. So I don't know if I'm gonna buy him yet because I don't see any deals. But if I do see a deal, I will pick one up. If I see one for less than like 59k. I'm definitely going to buy one for that price. So let's just go ahead and take a look at Team of the Week 2 as a whole, because we haven't done that yet on the series. And right now we are selling some things on the transfer list. I'm putting up my 9 goals for about 140,000 coins, just so that we can end up. We got an artist. We'll send to the transfer list. A little paintbrush on there. I like it. Just so we can take our profit and reinvest, especially in Player of the Month. But also in Team of the Week 2, as I mentioned, we just picked up a Meunier, and there's a couple reasons for that Meunier card. Because 1, Player of the Month Hazard, 2, that's a good card people will want. So like both of those work out. And consider Team of the Week 2 hasn't been as invested in, not nearly as invested in as Team of the Week 1. Not nearly. Now, it might be different for like Petr Cech. I'm sure a lot of people have picked up Petr Cech as an investment. Right now, he's like less than 15,000 coins, and there's probably a lot of people that picked up Matip as well. But I still like Matip as an investment, honestly. I like this card right here, guys. It's not the pace kind of throws some people off, but overall, people are still going to use this card given the fact that he is 6'5". 85 defense and 80 physical. I mean, that's still a good card. It's not like his pace is terrible, especially given the fact that, like, center backs, like, catch up to the strikers anyway. So it's not, like, a big deal there. Then we've got Hernandez, who I also think is similar to Matip, not in the fact that he would be used in an SBC, because Matip also has SBC potential, but Hernandez's card, man, he's got 84 pace, 84 defense, and 80 physical, and I believe that his base card is actually a fullback. So this is like his only version of center back. So it's not like you can go with another version. So like I really like this card because you can link him with France too. And you can also link him with La Liga. You also got, Atletico Madrid's a good team. Everything about this card just hints towards it's gonna go up in price. So I might invest in Hernandez within the next 24 hours as well because he's about 85 to 90,000 coins right now. And I don't know if I can pass that up because I think that this card could easily rise well above that. So I'm going to add that to my transfer targets. We'll see if it gets bought at 92K. Just to kind of see what he's settling at right now. When we look at the bench, man, something to think about, guys, something I think everybody's forgotten about is Bundesliga Player of the Month. And we don't know who it's going to be yet. I haven't looked much into it. But Bundesliga Player of the Month is coming. We're going to have one for September, and it's going to be a squad building challenge 99%. Like 99% it's going to be a squad building challenge. So why not invest early on that? Why not pick up some discard Zealers for 82 rated in preparation for it? Like, again, I don't know who it's going to be. It could actually, like, I don't know. Marco Reus had a really good month. He could be in the running for it. But I don't know. Maybe a Bayern. I don't think it'll be a Bayern player because they had a bad last 2 games of the month. Honestly, Marco Reus probably is gonna win it, and I'm not just saying that as a biased Dortmund fan, but he had a great month. But there's probably a couple other players that have a possible chance of winning. But yeah, Zieler's just an investment right there. He's German. He's goalkeeper, 82 rated. Like, goalkeeper is not great, but 82 rated is German is. And his price is discard right now, so that's really solid. And then Undawan, if you guys wanted to pick him up, he might be an investment because he's German, but he's also Premier League, and he's a usable card. All stats 70 and above with really good dribbling, really good passing, and then also 4-star with good work rates. So overall, that's a pretty good card too. Gets great links with Germany and Manchester City. Lucas Leiva might be an underrated shout. He is Brazilian, and that Brazilian hype is kind of already passed. But given the fact that you can get him for less than 20,000 coins right now, as a card with all stats 69 and above, and then he's also got 84 defense, 81 dribbling. He's 85 rated on top of it, guys. That's a very high rating that you're getting for a very cheap price, especially with the links. If you needed a high-rated SBC that needed 2 informs, Lucas Leiva is going to be one of the first cards that you would want to go with. One of the first ones. That is just an absolute steal. But we don't know when they're going to be dropping anything like that. They could drop an OTW SBC in the next couple of days, and I am low-key expecting one, maybe to drop on Tuesday, an OTW SBC. So that would maybe be out for a week because Tuesday marks 1 week left for OTWs. So that's just something to think about. That might be a date to kind of prepare for. But nonetheless, there's a lot of different investments in this team of the week that you guys have a choice of choosing. Like, I'm not going to tell you who to buy, but I'm just going to tell you who I think is a good, is a good shout, and you can make your decision based off what you think is the best. I gave you a few options. I gave you Undawan, I gave you Ben Yedder, I gave you Lucas Leiva, Matip, Hernandez. I gave you Petr Cech, I gave you Meunier, I gave you Zieler here, and then you could also go with a couple of these, discard cards if you got anything in mind. But Lala doesn't look terrible for a right back from League One, but as an 81 rated, it's gonna only rise a few thousand coins unless there's an SBC. So that's my take on Team of the Week investing. If it helped you out, guys, make sure to drop a like before the end of the video. It'd be greatly appreciated. Got to relist my Yarmolenko. I might have to sell him overnight. But our 9 Golems are up for 139,000 coins. I saw him get bought at 138k, so I'm going to be disappointed if he drops in price overnight and I missed the boat. But honestly, given the fact that he's not in packs, I'm in no rush to sell, so I don't want to undercut. He's not in packs right now, so I don't have to undercut. I don't have to panic sell or anything. We're coming up on weekend league, so even if I wait a couple more days, it might even be better. I just kind of want the coins so I can reinvest elsewhere because I feel like, again, guys, this card will go up, and I know that. But opportunity cost is something to always consider when investing because this 9 Golem might go up another 10,000 coins, but what if I can use this 140,000 coins to make 20k, Can I make 20,000 coins with 140k elsewhere than the 10k from holding on to them? So that's always something you got to think about. The best investors, the best traders in the market know that even if that card's going to continue to go up, if they have a better idea in terms of investing that can make that cards will go up higher, go ahead and take your profit, get out of there, And a lot of the times you might even get lucky, and that, those cards will drop. Like I was gonna do that with the Inform Xhakas and the Inform Yarmolenkos and everything like that before Player of the Month, because I saw they rose and I held. I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna hold. I don't have a better idea or anything to invest yet. I'm gonna wait. I think they'll go up closer, but they actually dropped a little bit. And so, like, sometimes you get lucky, and if you sell early, you might actually be the right choice in the long run anyway. So, yeah, that's my 2 cents on that. I got asked a very good question on my stream, and I think it's important to share it with you guys as well on YouTube, because the question was, how do you do icon trading, and how do you know what the price is to buy? And simply enough, the icons don't fluctuate nearly as much as like wants to watch cards do, or even informs. So you're really not going to have too many different opportunities throughout the year where you buy an icon and it just rises a ton overnight, just naturally, because the icons just don't fluctuate like that often. There's a couple points during the year that they will, like Black Friday and Team of the Year and Foot Birthday and Team of the Season and stuff like that, but it's not an every week thing. It's maybe like a once a month thing. So how do you trade with icons? How do you know what to buy them for? And one of my favorite methods is the 59th minute method, which has been evident since FIFA 14. I used to trade with this method in FIFA 14 with legends or with any cards, to be honest. And what you do is you just set here. Let me go and show you my filter first. I set it to icons, and I just put it at 467,000 coins. Why did I put it at 467,000 coins? Because that's how many coins I have. So if something pops up and I like it, I know I have the coins to buy it, essentially. So what you do is you just go and you scroll to the 59th minute. Now, you can do this on web app and companion app. Honestly, even better than you can even do it on console. So this is one of the best methods to do during the day when you're just trading normally. So you look at these cards and you're like, okay, Lemon, he's 242K. We know he goes for like 20K less than that. Because, why do we know that? Because we've been looking at these cards. We study the cards. The more you trade with icons, the more you know their prices. So when you see the 59th minute, you're going to be like, oh, that's a great deal. So Larson, right here, 465,000 coins. It's not a terrible deal, but I don't think that's profit, So there's one for 500K. And then there is, another layman here who's a 90 rated. I might not know his price very well. All I got to do is click X or I think it's square on the PlayStation, and it compares his price and says, hey, there's one for $299, so don't buy that one. And the more you get to know the cards, the better off you're going to be in terms of making profit. Layman went up for $225. That's a normal price for him, but like not too profitable. If we go to this page, you got Fernando Hierro for $420K. That's like an okay deal, I guess. It's pretty average for his price. You've got Baresi for $425K. It might be a little bit more expensive than what you would want to pay for him. And I know all of this based off of like previous knowledge. Like I was just saying on the stream, it's like I know the price of these icons now because I've been studying them. So when one pops up for like, we see a Prime Lodger pop up for $350K, it's like I know that card goes for like 500 to 550,000 coins during the day. That's 200K profit. And you'll be surprised how many people will list up icons for super cheap. And all you got to do to refresh the page is just go ahead and refresh the max price and scroll to the 59th minute again. And you got to be patient because you're not going to make profit off this like real quickly. Like obviously when you're doing the 59th minute method for icons, there's not going to be that many icons that even pop up on the market, especially if you're doing it at night like I am. There's not going to be that many that pop up. Maybe once every like 20 minutes you're going to see, okay, that's actually a pretty good deal, and you might buy it. But when they do pop up, when there actually is a deal, it's a big deal. It's a really good price. So you could make a couple 100,000 coins on a single card for icons. So icon trading is actually really effective. It just takes way more patience than any other trading in the game, honestly. It takes a lot of patience. And the reason I mentioned that Prime Lodrip, guys, I might pull up a picture on the screen if I remember to edit this in when I'm editing. But there was a Prime Lodrip on the web app that I missed for 259K, I think it was. That card goes for over 600K right now. It's normally a little bit above 500,000 coins, but nonetheless, I would have made like 300,000 coins off that card. If I had known that price beforehand, if I had known that he went for that much, I would have bought that card immediately, but I hesitated because I didn't know exactly what he went for yet because it was like one of my first searches in terms of icon trading. I just got kind of like unlucky with it. But yeah, guys, I'm telling you, there's a lot of deals for those all the time. People will just stupidly list them up for really, really cheap. I just found this website thanks to Impark in my chat. He linked me it. It's called footchief.com, and I never heard of it until today. It looks like a pretty good resource because it kind of shows you guys who's, you know, a good chance of winning Premier League Player of the Month here. You've got Alexander Lacazette with 2 goals and 2 assists, but, you know, he might not get it because Raheem Sterling's got 3 goals and 2 assists, so also 2 man of the matches for Raheem Sterling puts him ahead, and an 8.43 rating, and they went 4-0-0. And then you got Harry Kane with 3 goals and 0 assists, but Hazard, again, he had 5 goals, 0 assists. He had 8.43 rating, against tied for Raheem Sterling in terms of rating. His team, Chelsea, only went 2 wins, I believe 2 losses, or is that 2 draws? I don't even know. But yeah, they only won twice, while Raheem Sterling won 4 times. So Hazard, honestly, and Raheem Sterling are kind of the front runners, but you got to understand Hazard also had 3 man of the match. Okay, I'm being told it was 2 draws. Okay, so 2 wins, 2 draws, so not too bad still. And he had 3 man of the matches out of the 4 games. He got man of the match 3 games. That's pretty big. I think that's worthy of Player of the Month. But then you also have Bundesliga Player of the Month. If you take a look at this, guys, it's not completely accurate, guys, because Robert Lewandowski had another game where they actually drew a match. So they were 3-1-1 for Bayern because they played 5 games and they drew one of those matches in the last one. So that's not completely accurate, but all the stats are over here. If you take a look at it, there's actually another guy kind of in the running. So it's definitely going to either be Marco Reus or Duda. Like, Lua doesn't really have a chance, and Werner doesn't really have a chance. But it's kind of between Duda and Reus. A very similar situation to Premier League because Duda and Hazard, they both had 5 goals and 0 assists. And then Reus and Sterling both had 3 goals and 2 assists. So it's kind of the same situation. And Marco Reus only had 1 man of the match, while Duda had 2. So there's definitely some things to consider there. But also, Duda didn't have as good of a month as Dortmund for Hertha Berlin. So Duda plays for Hertha Berlin. He didn't have as good of a month for them because they lost a game, while Reus and Dortmund drew 2 matches without losing. And then also, you know, you got to consider the ratings. So Duda might win. But you also got to consider fan vote and everything, and Marco Reus is definitely going to win that fan vote over Duda, 100%. Also, Bundesliga in the past, especially like for team of the season and everything, it's very fan-oriented. So I think it's going to come down to, like, I think it will come down to a fan vote, and if it does, like, Marco Reus is going to win, because they're very close. So for the Player of the Month in the Premier League, it's 90% comes down to the choice of the Premier League board or whatever, and 10% of it's the fan vote. So if they're like really close, the fan vote could decide it. Bundesliga might be more percentage for the fan vote. I'm not sure really how they're going to choose it, but nonetheless, guys, yeah, it's either Reus or Duda. So make your investments accordingly for them too. But personally, I still think, as a Dortmund fan, I think it will be Marco Reus. He has been playing pretty great. And then from the Premier League, you know, I guess I am sort of contradicting myself by saying it's going to be Hazard. But you got to consider the fact that, you know, you got to consider the fan vote, man. More people are going to vote for Hazard than Sterling. And when it's this close, you know, it really could come down to the fan vote. I thought I was going to get around to the League SBCs today, but we had just too much to catch up on. So I'm probably going to save the League SBC talk for the next video. But before I go, I want to talk about marquee matchups a little bit. And also bronze pack method as a whole. So marquee matchups, the reason I don't invest in marquee matchups at all, really, like I didn't invest in them last week, I won't invest in them this week, it's because they're too unpredictable. Like, every now and then you're gonna get like El Clasico, and it's like, yeah, you know for a fact that that's gonna be in the marquee matchups. Or you get the Ruhr Derby in Germany, Dortmund versus Schalke, stuff like that, you know, where they're like such huge games that it's like, yeah, they're probably gonna be in there. But even then, like, you're still questioning it. Will it get in or not? Because, like, sometimes they just throw in the weirdest marquee matchups. So you don't know what marquee matchups EA are going to choose. And even if you did know all 4 different games that they were going to do beforehand, it's like, what do you invest in? You don't even know that, because half the time they require, it's like, you know, it'll be freaking Berlin versus Bayern or whatever. I don't know what marquee matchup would be. Let's say Lazio versus Roma, right? Like, it might be just like, submit 2 players from Lazio and Roma combined. Like, only 2 players total for those 2 teams. And then you can just go whatever you want for the rest of the team. It's like, that requirement's not going to make those cards go up very much, if any. And honestly, if they get too hyped up beforehand, it's going to be like a sell on the hype kind of thing. And even then, you're only making a couple hundred coins in total. Like, it's just not worth investing in marquee matchups. I just see more coins lost than made in marquee matchups most of the time. I don't really like marquee matchup investing. I think it's just too low budget. There's not really going to be anything coming from it. I think the only way to really make profit on marquee matchups, guys, is bronze pack method. Like, and here's what I'm going to say about bronze pack method. I don't really like this method. I think it's a very noob method. I think it's like a basic trader method. But it works, but it's like a long term. So what I'm saying is, like, yes, you open a couple bronze packs here and there, and you save those players for later, because eventually maybe there'll be, Melbourne Victory versus Melbourne, whatever the other Melbourne team is, Melbourne City. And there's no golds on those teams, or like 1 or 2 golds on those teams. So all those silvers and bronzes are going to be super expensive, like 6K in a couple of months. And so that's like the marquee matchups that'll make you big coins, is those like lower tier teams. Like, none of the big teams like Dortmund or Schalke are going to make you coins. No Lazio versus Roma. No Manchester United versus Man City. Like, none of those are going to make you profit. And if they do, it's going to be very minimal. The ones that'll make you profit are the ones that don't have that many gold cards to choose from, and it like requires 3 cards from those teams. And those are the only ones that'll really make you profit. So personally, I just don't like it that much. And bronze pack method, I think it's more, it's definitely more of a long-term trading method than immediate profit, because when I do the bronze pack method, I'll be like looking for immediate profit and stuff, and it's not working out, because I'm just not getting lucky with the packs. I'm not packing anything from marquee matchups. Yes, but those cards might be in marquee matchups in the future. That's why we hold on to them, because they quick sell for like 12 coins anyway. And I guess finally, I'm going to look at Hazard, because, if Hazard ends up winning Player of the Month, which he probably will, or at least he'll get hyped up, getting this Hazard card for less than 420k is probably a shout. And I'm not going to pay anything more than 420k, but I think it'll easily rise above like 460k as we get closer and closer to not only Weekend League, we'll be rising him up, but also Player of the Month especially. So I think that card will get closer to 500,000 coins, where we can make a few dozen K on that card pretty easily. So if I have the coins left over and I have the patience enough to put those coins in him as an investment, I'll do it. But I'm not going to do it unless I get a great deal on that card. So that's going to be it for this episode. We were really in a lot of different places, so you definitely probably learned a couple of things, but they didn't really relate to each other very much. So hopefully this video does end up helping you guys out. If it does, make sure to drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you are new. The next episode, I promise I'll talk about Liga SBCs a little bit more. I just haven't gotten time to get into it, and I feel like if I were to talk about it, it would be so basic that you guys probably already know everything I'm talking about anyway, because I got to look into these trading methods, position change methods, and see which ones work for this Liga SBC, and I haven't really had the time to do that yet, so that'll be in the next episode. So I'll see you then, guys. Peace out.